How you guys doing today? Romain Neal here from Access Gourmet. Guys, we are so excited about this dessert pairing. We have our Kentucky Stout from Nickelbrook, and we're going to be pairing it with a chocolate cupcake. Now, this cupcake is going to be one of the most unique cupcakes that recipes you're going to find. Not only have we infused Nickelbrook's stout that has a nice touch of brown sugar, but we've also concocted essentially a recipe that's going to have a little bit of chocolate ganache. We have a Bailey's frosting on top of it that is going to give us a nice touch and texture. Also a good just combination pairing of flavor as well. So we're gonna get started with essentially our cupcake mix here. That's a really simple way to get started. So what we're gonna do is we're going to get our fire going here. We have half a cup of butter. We have half a cup of our Kentucky Bastard Nickelbrook Stout. And all we're looking to do here is we're gonna completely melt that butter and that stout together. And this is essentially for those with a little bit more culinary prowess, essentially a glorified ganache. Otherwise, just chocolate sauce, right? So we're making a base essentially out of our butter. And what we're gonna do is we're going to look to add our cocoa to the rest of our mix. So once that butter is melted down all the way, you don't want to burn the butter because the flavor is going to essentially offset. So make sure you're paying attention a little bit. If you want to have a little stout on the side, helps out the flavor. A little bit for that, a little bit for you. Once that butter is completely mixed out, you're going to slowly ingratiate your cocoa. Now, you don't want to dump it all the way in because you're going to have a bunch of lumps. So nice and slow. Again, a little cocoa, a little stout on the side. Nice little blend in there. Okay? So you're gonna start to mix your cocoa in with your butter and your stout. And your sauce will begin to thicken as you add that cocoa in, so you wanna be careful. Again, you can turn that heat down a little bit if you're looking to add that product in. And you just wanna thoroughly mix that out. Once that cocoa has gone into your mix, you can turn that fire all the way down. You're gonna get a beautiful flavor from that. The stout starts to burn, so the flavor starts to release, the butter and the cocoa mix together, and it is a nice marry of flavors that we've already just started here. So you want to get that finished off. Once you feel like your cocoa has been completely incorporated, nice smooth mixture, what you want to do is you want to set that aside and allow that to cool down so that you can get ready for the rest of your mix. Okay, so we have our chocolate cool down. Now the process is going to be to be able to fold your ingredients together. So now what I want you to do is, I want you to get your egg. I always recommend cracking an egg in a separate bowl and then transferring it. You don't want cupcakes with the side of eggshells. Trust me, it's not gonna have a good flavor. So you wanna crack your eggs here. We're gonna transfer them to our mixing bowl. Then we're gonna get our sour cream ready to go. So right now we have 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. Gonna combine your sour cream with your egg. You're gonna get a nice mixture. You wanna completely incorporate your egg and your sour cream. You have a clean mixture. Perfect. Then you're going to have your dry ingredients now that you want to be able to put together. Now, your dry ingredients are going to be a cup of flour, 5 tablespoons of sugar, and 3/4 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay? So, I'm gonna get them all combined. And the ratio of ingratiation is gonna be important. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna fold your chocolate in with your eggs and your sour cream, and then you're going to mix your dry ingredients in with that mixture. Now, it's important to make sure you do this in that following step because it prevents any lumps or from a heavy cupcake batter. You want your batter to be as light as possible. So we're gonna essentially go ahead right now and we're gonna mix in our chocolate with our egg. You can go back and forth with a tool between a rubber spatula or a whisk. Always the right tool for the right job. And then now, you're gonna wanna incorporate your dry ingredients with your egg and chocolate mixture. Now you wanna slowly, again, Always start with probably around quarter or half. You don't want to dump everything in. You run the risk of having lumps in your cupcake batter. You want to have that batter as clean as possible. Again, if you have a standing mixer, go ahead and get that out. But a nice little whisk. Handmade's always tastes a little bit better, you know what I mean? Finish off your dried ingredients. And then go from there. So we've gotten our batter done. Everything's nice and smooth. I always like to tell my guests and my clients as well, the difference between a cupcake and a muffin batter are gonna be simple. A muffin batter is gonna be a little rustic, got a bit of lumps to it. It's just gonna essentially be a bake, while a cupcake batter gotta be really smooth. So we've decided to go a little bit large. With Father's Day coming up, I'm gonna give my cupcakes to my dad. No matter what he says, he loves himself some cupcake, no matter what the size, but if I give him the small ones, he's gonna say they're too small. So we've decided to go a little bit larger today. So whatever size you're looking to do, you can go ahead and pick those. So batter is ready to go. It's nice and smooth. I've decided to use a 2.5 ounce scoop. So just a nice 1.5 of that scoop is going to give me the perfect size muffin that I'm looking for. Depending on the size, you can go 1 scoop, you can go 1.5. It really depends on what variation you're looking, what size of muffin you want, or cupcake that you're looking for. Okay, so our amazing cupcakes are out of the oven. We've allowed them to cool down. Now it's about the finishing touches. Now, this stout is actually really versatile. It's really good flavor. Once we cooked it down, we realized that there's a couple other things that we can do with it. So we wanted to be able to incorporate in a couple different ways. So we have the stout already in our cupcake. Really nice blend, just a mild little touch to it. What we've also done is we've made a chocolate stout ganache. So what this is 4 ounces of milk chocolate, 1 ounce of cream, 1 ounce of our Kentucky Nickelbrook stout, along with a little bit of brown sugar, and we've created ourselves a little bit of ganache here. And we also have a buttercream that's been infused with a little bit of Bailey's, a touch of powdered sugar, and we're gonna make sure that we can get those recipes lined up as well. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna look to finish our cupcake. So we're gonna start with our ganache. It's a little bit warm. We don't want it to be hot. We don't want it to be too cool. We want it to be a little bit malleable. If you've had a little bit too much of the stout, I'd recommend you put this to the side because you're gonna wanna make sure that you're completely sober for this one. So you're just gonna pop this into the top of your cupcake here. And you don't wanna squeeze too hard. You just wanna lightly be able to get that. Once you see that ganache starts to come to the top of your cupcake, you know that you're gonna be done. So again, pop in. And if you don't happen to have a bottle, a piping bag, something small with a nice little nozzle works for this one. It's better to go from the top because you can essentially get to the middle of the cupcake a little bit easier. If you don't happen to have a squeeze bottle, you can go with a piping bag, just something with a little bit of a small tip to it. So once we've filled the center point of our cupcakes with our stout ganache, what we're gonna do is we're going to get our cream cheese filling on top now. So we're gonna come across here. We're just gonna start from the center point, and you just wanna essentially make your way onto the edge. Now, this is not a rule for thumb. Some people like the same layer of frosting as to the rest of their cupcake. So use your own discretion for whatever you'd like to have on top. I just like to have a little bit of that cream cheese icing on top of mine. So I'm just gonna come across here, and I will stop there. Come back here. And again, it all depends on how much of this you would like. You can really choose to be able to apply as much as you would like to go with. So with these, again, nice and easy, nice and simple. You can get your whatever spread you're looking to do, whatever level of toppings you can infuse with a little bit of flavor. Really nice cupcakes. You can set these overnight. Nice little treat. So Kentucky Bastard Stout, Nickelbrook, infused with a little cupcake, and top with the Bailey's icing on top just to finish it off, along with our stout infused ganache as well. Really nice touch, sweet, nice for your sweet.